Hello everyone. The date is 28th of June and the time is 11 o'clock in the morning. My name is Puya Isfahani, and today I would like to update you about certain things that's been happening, and also tell you a little bit about the type of drugs that I was given by the Home Office and the police, perhaps. Um, the type of drugs I have been given, many of them were actually to disable my body from functioning properly. Basically take away my brain, and I was basically like a potsy. I mean, anything anyone used to tell me I used to do. I mean, the type of drugs were actually take away the option of thinking from you. There was also other types of drugs which they used to affect you in a sexual way, and I never knew why. They really try to give me these sort of drugs to affect me in a sexual way, or at many points they try to set me up for rape, and I never actually understood that. They also I also spoke to some of the agents who potentially were also really upset. Obviously, torturing someone is difficult for a person who's getting tortured. It's also difficult time to time for people who actually torture people. But Home Office does employ professional people in terms of torturing someone from many different countries. Um, I spoke to them and they said why I've been given drugs on by those scientists and everybody else. They said mainly to stop your body functioning to perhaps go and get a revenge from the people who did this to you. And also, when you're on drugs, they used to give you a type of a drugs that anything you do, you say you did. These were the reasons they used to give you drugs so you will admit to the things that you have done. And this is a method actually used by the police and Home Office and Secret Services. They do that to you. In my next videos I would like to go to the locations of kidnapping and the places I was living with that scientist that was testing drugs on my body. The location I was kidnapped, the picture of the people who actually kidnapped me. And also recently what I realized is Home Office has actually employed a code group of Iranians to actually deal with this matter as quietly as possible. I also realized the Home Office has arranged my execution with the Iranian government, and they put in a massive pressure on me. Basically what they do, they put a pressure on you enough that you leave the country and go back home, and they've already arranged your execution. They've paid between 300 to 500,000 pounds offer to the person who lives with me to convince me to go back. The type of a conversation I have with this guy is, I'm under a lot of pressure. He goes, go back, go back, go back. And I tell him, listen, what I'm going to do about the Iranian Secret Service, you know what's happening, and they're the ones who set me up. He goes, don't worry about the Iranian Secret Service, they're not going to do anything, or things like that. As we can see in the news, they're hanging people left and right center, and I can't understand why. They're threatening my family to take Home Office to the court. I would like to know what Mr. Ali Reza Moghimi has said to the Home Office that resulted to kidnapping and torturing me on this sort of a level. What Manucher has said. Ali Reza Moghimi, as I said, is a member of the Iranian Secret Service. What has Manucher, I'm not going to mention his surname, Manucher has said that led to the torture for more than 3 years? What has Mariam, my ex-partner, has said that many of the drugs that were given to me were actually affected me in a sexual way, and also whose penis she's been sucking at the Home Office. That the Home Office agents will come in my house, throw all my stuffs in the street just to steal a private movie between me and her. And also I'd really like to know who are the other two people that has made complaint. I remember I was told potentially there are 5. I know 3 of them already. I just don't know what they have actually said to lead this. And I know this has been mainly arranged by Imam Reza's mosque in Birmingham. I really like, and I'm also under a lot of pressure not to take these people to the court. What Home Office has done, for instance, is to a group, we have to potentially pay a lot of money as a compensation to this guy. We will pay you the money so you keep his mouth shut. You keep his you have an option of killing him, send him back home. If you send him back home, you be able to keep all the money to yourselves, or potentially convince him to go to a different country and take his life. You still can take the money for yourself, or for instance, we're gonna give you 4 or 5 million, and you give him 50 or 60 or whatever. I cannot understand what they're actually doing. I cannot have a lawyer. There was a lawyer alligator at one point for me, and I was not able to speak to that lawyer. Government of UK Home Office were actually stopping me, taking my rights as a human to speak to that lawyer. I will also publish a next video. They keep sending prostitutes, hired prostitutes from Home Office into my life, and they're trying to make me marry those prostitutes. I don't want to get married to a prostitute. I don't know why the Home Office, is that a dating agency they have as well as dealing with the crime and immigration? Why they forcing me into a forced marriage? Why every day I'm getting forced to do things that I do not want to do? Why they put so much pressure? All of these are evidence. Dealing with the other groups by the Home Office to do this to me is all duress, is all evidence against the Home Office and the court. Why are they threatening my family abroad to not to take Home Office and Mr. Ali Reza Moghimi to the court? I don't know why they actually threatening me 24/7. What for? Home Office pays a different group so they will stay out of the situation at the moment. But this is all on evidence. I mean, and they keep coming to me and say you have no evidence against Home Office. I have evidence against Home Office. I have a lot of evidence against Home Office. And don't forget, is me, Pooya Isfahani, against the government of UK. Government of UK is all the solicitors, police officers, Home Office, Secret Services, doctors, everything within it. Is the government of UK, people who had access to my house. Anytime they needed to steal anything, they came and stole it. Anytime they needed to do anything, they done it. They clearly drugged me, which I can easily prove that, and many other things. And this is all the mistakes by the Home Office. I really like to know what Mr. Ali Malik Farnoot has done to be offered a legal citizenship. I have no idea. I'm just a guy that everyone's take advantage from. People either get the citizenships, money. Well, if you know a legal immigrant who's after a citizenship, please tell them to contact me. They probably potentially be offered citizenship and other things. I really like to know. I've not still heard anything back by the Home Office. I'm sure Home Office be trying to hide as much information as possible in terms of the people who have complained and caused this untrue, and I was set up clearly, and I was tortured in the most horrific way, and I will publish a next video. Please watch my next video, ladies and gentlemen. The next video shows you a woman, as I was going to the gym with a friend of mine to use a swimming pool and sauna, and she was there, and she started a conversation with us, and after speaking to her for a while, she was really interested to get married to me, and I potentially realized the way I spoke to her and the type of conversations we had, she was hired by the Home Office again. I cannot understand why Home Office is doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch the next video as well, and I advise Home Office to stop the harassment that goes on 24/7. Ladies and gentlemen, watch the next video. Next video shows a woman that comes into my life as a stranger at the gym and trying to get married to me, and the type of conversations I had with her in the swimming pool, which I could not unfortunately record that, as it was in the swimming pool and it's quite illegal. I would really like to know why the Home Office is actually forcing me into a marriage that I do not want to do. Why they have arranged my execution with the Iranian government, and why they have allowed the Iranians to see my case, my Home Office case. That's against the human rights and against the data protection. I cannot understand. Do they actually have any laws in the Home Office? Or is that because I'm Iranian? If I want to I remember a story. There was a guy actually who in Austria, they kept his daughter in a basement and he was torturing them for 12 or 13 years. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, my story is quite similar. Home Office has kept me in the country for 3 years, did not give me a passport, they stole my application form, stole my money at every point to stop me applying for my citizenship and my passport. Just to face torture, just they could test the drugs as much as possible, test their equipment, test to torture me 24/7 and drug me 24/7. They tested drugs and many other things, and now they're threatening me not to take them to the court. I can't even get a lawyer. If you can help, ladies and gentlemen, please do contact me on 07435 443817. That's 07435 443817. Thank you very much.